Welcome to this explainer. Did you know that for 40 years, the entire scientific community was completely fooled by a fake fossil called the Piltdown Man? Yeah, someone literally glued human and ape bones together, filed down the teeth, and derailed our understanding of history for decades. It's wild. Today, we're tackling exactly why that matters. We're going to explore that fascinating intersection where the thrill of scientific discovery meets the absolute necessity of true, unwavering integrity. For all of you 8th grade learners out there, and honestly, anyone who just wants to understand how the world really works, we're looking at the rule book for reality. It isn't just about knowing how to run a cool science experiment. It's about knowing how to do it right, fairly, and honestly. We're setting up the ultimate goal today, combining a brilliant scientific mind with a deeply honest heart.
So before we get to the beakers and data charts, let's lay down the moral stakes right from the start. The source material we're exploring today anchors its philosophy in Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7, walk in integrity. But what does true integrity actually mean when we're doing science? Well, it means doing the right thing even when absolutely no one is looking at your lab bench. Because if science isn't honest, the real-world consequences can be devastating. People can literally be harmed. So integrity isn't just a nice buzzword, it's the absolute foundation of everything we're going to learn today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. Number 1, the heart of true science. 2, lab ethics versus social ethics. 3, real-world ethical dilemmas. 4, spotting bad science. And finally, number 5, morality in education.
Section 1. The heart of true science. Honesty in wisdom.
Whenever we ask a question about the natural world, we really need two very specific tools in our toolkit: an honest approach to finding the answer, and the wisdom to know what to do with that answer once we actually have it. The big idea of this source material is simple but absolutely profound. Science must be honest in how it's done, and society must be wise in how it uses it. Think about why this matters. A brilliant mind without an honest heart can actually lead to unfair or incredibly dangerous results. If society takes a major scientific breakthrough and just uses it without even thinking about the ethical impact, things go wrong very quickly. Honesty inside the lab and wisdom outside the lab, they absolutely have to go hand in hand.
Section 2. Lab ethics versus social ethics. The two sides of science.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that there's a sharp divide here. On one side, we have scientific ethics. This means absolute honesty, safety, transparency, and accuracy. It literally means the scientists must report all their data. On the flip side, we have social ethics. Now, this kicks in when a community actually decides how to use a new technology. Social ethics means using science in ways that help people and the planet, not harm them. It requires balancing the benefits and the risks, guided by both our hard facts and our moral values.
Let's look closer at the lab side for a second, because we have to talk about data integrity. This is the absolute requirement to report all of your results, even the ones you don't really like. Imagine you're doing an experiment and 99 of your results perfectly prove your theory, but one result totally ruins it. It might be kind of tempting to just erase that one weird result, right? But leaving out data that doesn't fit your desired pattern is a lie of omission. It's completely dishonest. All results matter. Ignoring unhelpful data is a major failure in scientific ethics.
Section 3. Real-world ethical dilemmas. Facts versus values.
I want you to think about a rhetorical question for a second. Is a safe bridge always a good bridge? Just let that sink in. From a purely mathematical, scientific standpoint, if the bridge holds the weight of the cars, it's safe. But does that make it a good bridge for the community? This gets right to the heart of the difference between raw engineering and community impact. Here's the clash. The evidence, the hard science, says the bridge won't fall down. It's safe. But our values ask totally different questions. What if building that bridge creates so much noise and pollution that the neighborhood right next to it becomes an awful place to live? This beautifully illustrates that strong evidence alone doesn't instantly solve ethical debates. The facts tell us what we can build, but our values tell us if we should build it.
Let's look at another dilemma. Would you trust a company that tests its own product without any outside checks? Imagine a company invents a new snack, and they're the only ones who run the health and safety tests on it. And, surprise, surprise, they say it's 100% perfectly healthy and you should probably eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'd probably be a little suspicious, right? Well, you should be. This brings up the very real danger of built-in corporate bias.
We call this a conflict of interest. This happens when personal or financial goals totally compromise honest scientific testing. If I make money off a product, I might be biased to ignore the bad data to make it look way better than it actually is. This is exactly why independent replication is absolutely vital.
We need outside, independent scientists to run the exact same tests and see if they get the same results. It's really the only way to ensure the safety and truth of any new product or claim.
Moving right along to Section 4, Spotting Bad Science. Be a truth detective.
As 8th graders, and honestly just as active citizens on the internet, you're bombarded with scientific claims every single day. So the crucial point is knowing exactly what to look out for. Here are the major red flags of bad science you absolutely need to memorize. Number 1, hiding unhelpful data. If an article only tells you the good news and totally ignores the bad, be careful. Number 2, lacking independent replication. If only one person has done the test, well, it's not proven yet. Number 3, ignoring ethical debates. If they don't care about how it impacts real people, that's a massive problem. And number 4, making wild health claims without proof. If you see a claim online that a new pill will magically cure everything overnight, unless it's a pill that miraculously cures having to do your chores, that is a massive red flag.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a real action plan. Here's a rigorous process for evaluating new scientific claims. Step 1. Demand independent checks. Ask yourself, has anyone else actually verified this? Step 2. Ask questions before accepting claims. Always be curious and a little skeptical. And step 3. Ensure facts balance with values. Always ask how this new discovery is going to actually affect real human beings and the world we live in.
And this brings us to our final section, number 5, Morality in Education, the Godly Learner. The Heroes Smart Academy series argues that education without morality will hurt. It asks a really tough question. What is the point of being smart and supposedly highly educated if you just continue to make bad choices that hurt yourself and the people around you? The source proposes that true education actually intertwines biblical morality with learning so that intelligence becomes a powerful tool for good, not for harm. And this brilliantly illustrates what the source points to in Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7. To be spiritually minded is life and peace. The text argues that when you combine your scientific education with a strong moral spiritual foundation, you don't just get a head full of facts, you get life and you get peace of mind. This is what the material emphasizes as the absolute ultimate goal of learning. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will your education bring peace or will it cause harm? The facts are out there, just waiting to be discovered, but the integrity to use them right is entirely up to you. I challenge you to walk in integrity with every single new discovery you make. Keep asking the right questions, stay honest, and keep being truth detectives. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.